So the clicker's not working, so Fabi's going to graciously do my slides. I know I have 10 minutes, or 9 minutes. This morning I practiced and it was 18 minutes. So we're going to get through this. We're going to go a little faster. So as Jean said, my name is Natalie Velligas. We can do the next slide. I know my title is about self-awareness, but I'll tell you how they're interlinked, empathy and self-awareness. So who is Natalie? I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, not too far from here. My mother is I was raised in a single parent household. I have 2 older brothers. My mom was an educator for 36 years in Milwaukee Public Schools. I should have known that I'd fall into education. I actually went to MSOE for my undergraduate, so I do have an architectural engineering degree, which is fantastic and really, really led me to where I'm at right now. So the funny thing is, in 2012, my brother and I, Juan, actually were able to graduate together because we both graduated from MSOE, him with a management information systems degree, myself with an architectural engineering degree. My servant leadership journey starts with me falling on my face. And I continue to do this until you become a better leader. So in 2012, I took a big girl job upon graduating from MSOE in Indiana. So I drove 4 hours, took the position at an architectural engineering firm. It was great. It was fantastic, very supportive group. It was wonderful until it wasn't. So from there, I had 2 major self-awareness learning lessons that year. So as a millennial, I love dictionary terms, right? So I went to Google, really. And Oxford Languages describes self-awareness as this: the conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. Okay? In that year, while I was practicing engineering, I came to the realization I don't like engineering, which I'd spent 4 years studying, right? I like doing engineering things. I like problem solving. I like working collaboratively in groups. I love bringing value to people. But the whole engineering discipline really didn't fit me. And like Liz said, there wasn't an alignment there, right? So I learned that, which was my big self-awareness lesson. And the second thing I learned was community and community building is very important to me. Being part of my family is also very important to me, right? There's an ideology called familialism in which you place a priority on being with family. And that's what happened to me. So upon realizing this, really, and falling flat on my face, I came back to Wisconsin. I moved back with the support of my family. Didn't have really a solid job. I did what I call my soul-searching years, really from like 24 to 26, which was great. I had a lot of odd jobs, but then something remarkable happened to me, and I was kicked off of my mom's insurance, oddly enough, right? You get old enough and they kick you off. And I knew I had to get insurance because when I was in college, I was diagnosed with lupus. So I was dealing with that, trying to find a new life, right? I call it my quarter-life crisis, which, yes, it is a thing, okay? Quarter-life crisis is a thing. With that, I came back, was searching for passion and fulfillment. So what did I do? It's like, oh my goodness, where can I find really good health insurance? Where? I became a K4 para professional in MPS. So part of that, becoming a K4 para, really was my transition into building capacity for empathy, right? And empathy, again, from the dictionary, right, is the action of understanding, being aware, being sensitive to, and vicariously experiencing feelings, thoughts, and an experience of another. So, as you may be aware, or maybe not, I'm a very empathetic person, so empathy comes very naturally to me. I also come from a culture in which they emphasize empathy for others. So that wasn't a problem. What was an issue was actually regulating my own emotions, right? You take in a lot of energy when you're very empathetic. How do you deal with that, right? So as K4 para, as you can see, like 4-year-olds have a lot of emotions, a lot of big emotions, right? And their families. So how can I build self-awareness to what I need, right, as to be a servant leader, but also be engaged with others in a way that I could be the best self, my best selves for them. So as a K4 para, I had an amazing teacher that I was paired up with, Miss Keating. She was actually Teacher of the Year for MPS, so that's a high accolade for teachers. And one of the things that she showed me was the capacity for empathy needed to be an educator. How many educators are in the room? Yes. We love you. Just know that. The power of education is one that cares for students, for families, for communities, and society. So give them a hand. So I went from one extreme to another, K4 to high school. I actually became a high school teacher. I was at Alexander Hamilton High School, which I want to say practice, but no, I taught there for about 3 years. I loved it. High schoolers were my jam. Teaching them and being engaged with them and how funny they were, and they're one of the most empathetic groups of humans ever, right? They're going through life changes. They're trying to support their peers. They see you having a bad day as an educator. They're trying to cheer you up, right? High schoolers are awesome. One of the things that I learned in this particular instance was learning to discern my own feelings with these students from the emotions and feelings that they had, right? And to build that healthy boundary. As you can tell, I'm a very emotional person, so building that healthy boundary was key. Fast forward, another servant leader that you know, Dr. Deanna Lightsky, that Jean is filling in for. She was my advisor in undergraduate, but she was also still a friend, which is kind of odd to say, but still my friend as I was going through these life transitions. And she came in as a guest speaker in one of my Project Lead the Way courses. So she was telling me about the Create Institute at MSOE that she was starting. And really the focus of Create Institute was bringing experiential learning opportunities to students at MSOE, but doing that through building a mindset, which we call MSOE mindset. That students and graduates will leave the university being leaders of character, responsible professionals, passionate learners, and value creators. I said, wow, that sounds like a great, great place to be. So I was perusing their website one day, and I saw a job opening, and I took it. That was my leap. You could go ahead, Fabi. Took my leap. I went in as a project coordinator. And the first task I had, Deanna goes, you taught high school? I said, yes, I did. She goes, how about you design the Create Student Fellow program? Deanna's my boss now, so I was like, sure, whatever you need, Deanna, I will design that program. So really, the program we designed was a servant leadership program. It is intended to be a leadership development program that infuses servant leadership, entrepreneurial mindset, and the MSOE mindset. So these students acted as peer mentors for each other, and they really, really offered support for both co-curricular and extracurricular activities. Now, I know Jean has given me a warning, so now we're on our last slide, which is great timing, y'all. I know somebody said if we could have some good takeaways. This is my takeaway slide. One, right? Be unapologetically yourself, right? In order to be a successful servant leader, you have to be willing, one, to fall, because it's going to happen. But what you do when you fall or you stumble, or you scrape your face on the concrete, right? All those things heal. You get back up and you continue to move forward. Second thing, build relationships. People want to be heard, seen, and felt. 2 great books that I recommend. This is your takeaway. The Good Life and 10 to 25. 10 to 25 is really good about motivating students from the ages of, students and just young people, from the ages of 10 to 25 years old. Okay? Practice grace. It's going to happen. You're going to fall. You have to be okay with that. And you have to be okay with other people also falling and you helping them back up. Okay? Last thing, leadership is a verb, right? We are all leaders, yes, but leadership is a verb. There should be some kind of action behind it. So what is your actionable thing today? You're here, right? We're here for 90 minutes together. Well, what are you taking back? How are you pushing forward? Okay? To my educators, keep pushing, keep fighting the good fight. You're seen, you are heard, and you're felt. Thank you.